Boy, Henny DeMore reporting live from the liquor store. How's everybody doing today, man? Hey, it's Thursday. It's Thursday, man. So y'all know you found your way to the right spot, man. You know, it's been a long week, but hey, the weekend's tomorrow, right? You get to kick back, get to let your hair down, get the parlay. So you know it's overdue for a liquor store run, man. So y'all come on in. We got everything it takes to make you sin. We got hen, gin, cowboy readers, them Eagles tears, man. No, they potent as hell. So, just tap in with your boy. We're going to get drunk on this Dallas Cowboy content tonight. So, real quick, man, let me give some shout outs to everybody already entering the liquor store, coming in and showing love to your boy. So, hey, shout out to Eastside Harold. He actually sent $1 super chat. So, salute to him. Even though he's a horrible Houston fan, he's still a supporter. So salute to my boy. Shout out to Double R, part of the Wrench Gang, tapping in. Jameson Taylor, I see you. Thank you for coming through, supporting the channel as always, man. Joe Grace, what's up with you? Hey, Joe Tranchina, tapping in from Italy. I appreciate you for sharing, liking the content, man. Let's see who else up in here. Miss Regina Green with the green, salute to you. Thank you for coming through, showing love to the channel and the content. Hey, Big Ben and Rich in here too. Desmond Ironman, what's up with y'all, man? Thank y'all for coming through, supporting the content, supporting the channel. So, as y'all all can tell, hey, Brewster ran through the door. I didn't even see my boy. Hoodlum in here too. Danny Savage the slid in. Okay, so hey, liquor store filling up pretty quick, man. So, hey, Gary Murphy too. I see you, man. Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the channel, man. So, as y'all can tell by the title, we're going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys run game going into 2023. We know there's been a bunch of changes to the running back room. There have been changes to the way that the offensive line is going to block. There's changes in offensive philosophy and things along those lines. So there's a lot of things to actually unpack and try to research, see what the hell is going to go on next season. So we're going to touch on that in depth, cover all the bases, try to see what to expect from this running game and how much the Dallas Cowboys will utilize it. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, right, I'm going to run my usual commercial to y'all. So we are still doing the Dallas Cowboy ticket raffle. I'll be sending people to see the Dallas Cowboys completely and utterly destroy the Philadelphia Eagles live in person. So first place winner, there's 3 prizes, by the way, right? 3 prizes. So the first place winner is going to get a Dallas Cowboy ticket to the home game against the Eagles, and that ticket will have a seat attached to it. So you can sit back, you can enjoy your Cowboy in peace. You only got to stand up when you want to jump on your feet and cheer for them Cowboys. The second place winner is going to get a ticket to the same game, but it will be for general admission, standing room area. Third place winner is going to either get a PlayStation 4 or a Dallas Cowboy jersey of their choice. So if you want to enter into this raffle and send entries, it's $10 a pop. You can either send them through Cash App, it's $ Henny DeMore to send through the Cash App, or you can jump in the Super Chat. You can send $10 through the Super Chat, or you can send $10 through a Super Sticker. And each one is going to count as an entry. So if you want to participate, or if you just want to support the content and continue to support the channel, you can do it that way as well. And now that that's out of the way, man, let's talk about this run game. And y'all listen, man. Hey, I got something to show y'all. Matter of fact, oh, there you know. You see what it say right here on this hat, man? It said, "Run the damn ball." Yeah, it says run the damn ball. And that's the kind of philosophy the Dallas Cowboys will have this upcoming 2023 season, man. No, they want to be more physical. They want to play a smash mouth style of football. And that has really been the calling card of one Brian Schottenheimer. I could call the boy Brian Shanahan by mistake. So that's been the calling card of Brian Schottenheimer since he's been in the NFL. So if you just check his track record as a guy that employs a power run scheme, you'll see that the Dallas Cowboys are really going to have to lean on these running backs going into the 2023 season. What's up with you, Joe? Salute to you. Danny Savage said, "Who playing left tackle? Please don't say Tyron. He don't make it out of camp." 5 to 6 games max. He's your left tackle, man. He's your left tackle, so we're just gonna have to pray he stay healthy. Roster X, what's up with you, man? Salute to you. He said, "Well, let's go after Tyron." Yeah, they really hiring Waletzko too. They're very high on Waletzko, and he's been getting snaps at both tackle positions. But let's just go look at the handiwork of one Brian Schottenheimer. All right. So let's start at 2018. Because as we do know, Mike McCarthy is going to be the play caller, but Brian Schottenheimer is going to be the offensive coordinator. They're going to be using a lot of his principles from what he was the offensive coordinator for Seattle. So, that's where we're going to start at. Yo, what's up with you? S.A. Richburg. Salute to you, my brother. Thank you for coming into the liquor store and showing love, man. We'll talk about this running game right now. So we're going to take a look at the handiwork of Brian Schottenheimer over the course of his 3 years with the Seattle Seahawks. Right? We're going to start there, and then we're going to, just go down the line. We're going to talk about the actual scheme itself, because we're going to talk about what Brian Schottenheimer wants to do, his attempts, how he involved his running backs, and then we're going to talk about our personnel and how they can fill that role. All right, so bear with me as I get this screen shared. Okay, so this is 2018 rushing stats. All right, I'm finna go ahead and share the screen with y'all so y'all see what I see. Seattle rebuilt their O-line, 2 drafts, 2 0. Yeah, they put a lot of stock into their offensive line, no doubt about that. It don't need to be great, just efficient, and we have efficiency. It was just in the hands of the kid. Well, let me show you. I think it's going to be better than a lot of people think, though. Like I said, we're going to take a look at the past, because when you take a look at the past, you are able to find and discern certain patterns in how a coordinator calls plays. So this is 2018. I got this aligned from most rushing yards. The Seattle Seahawks under Brian Schottenheimer in 2018 was the best rushing offense in the NFL. On 234 rushing attempts, they ended up with 2,560 yards on the ground. They also averaged 4.8 rushing yards an attempt. So this yards per carry. So yard per carry was 4.8 for the Seattle Seahawks under Brian Schottenheimer in 2018. Right? If you just compare that, that was good for the 4th best in the entire league. Only the Panthers, Packers, and the Rams, got more yards per carry than they did that year. All right, so they were the number 1 rushing offense for a reason. He had over 500 attempts. That was the second most attempts in the league. And we all know 2008. We all know, 2018 that Lamar Jackson was toting that thing for Baltimore. So that's why they probably hit. So let's see, Michael McQuay. Hold on, Double R. What did Eastside say? Oh yeah, you ain't have to bam him for that one. He just said the Dalton Schultz had looked good, so he good. He said, "Hey, Michael McQuay, what's up with you, man? I see you slide through. I see you." Houston, which it has its offense tailor made. I believe that too. Any other team cut 3 years ago? Hey, listen, but they didn't. They didn't cut him, so we're gonna have to rock with the boy. You know what I mean? So yeah, like we can make the argument that that because of his injury history, he could have they could have tried to replace him, but they didn't go that route. So he's on the team. When he actually plays, he's still a top 10 rated left tackle. So landlord from Wakanda, you the whacked East Side, man. Yeah, I let him out, man. Like, hell, y'all gotta stop whacking folks, man. Y'all gotta stop sending hits on that boy, man. So yeah, so in regards to this rushing attack, right? That what we just seen, number one rushing attack in 2018. So let's skip a year. Let's go to the following year, because he was the offensive coordinator from 2018 to 2020. So what did that rushing offense look like in 2019? Still one of the best rushing teams in the NFL. So even though they were not the number one rushing offense, right? Because we all know Baltimore rushed for over 3,000 yards. They were still the fourth best rushing team in the NFL. They ran the ball 481 times for 2,200 yards, and they averaged 4.6 yards and a carry, right? So they ran the ball they still ran the ball a lot. They still were a very efficient rushing offense. He did still feed his running backs. So, he did still get everybody involved. And if you just wanted to go a little bit more in depth, right? Even though I didn't do this in the previous year, go over here and take a look at this. Well, let's go back to 2018. This is one thing I did not cover. First down rush attempts. They ran the ball on first down 24.9% of the time, which was surprisingly not anywhere near the top, right? So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So, even though they were a run heavy team, they were not super predictable in running the ball. They did not run the ball, at a super high rate, on first down. Like that, the Cowboys ran the ball on first down more often than the Seattle Seahawks did. So, even though they were this dominant running team, they were not telegraphing when they were going to run the ball. At least not in the first year, not in 2018. So let's see what they did in 2019. I like looking at things like that because that gives you a little insight on how on their tendencies and how they like to call the plays. Okay. So 25% of the time they ran on first down in 2019. Okay. And there were still several teams, including the Dallas Cowboys, that ran the ball more often on first down. So, I like that. I have nothing against being a run dominant team. I have nothing against being a run dominant team. But, I do like the fact that they're able to throw curveballs. They're able to not be one dimensional. So, it looked like they let Russell Wilson throw the ball early in theory. And, they still were able to run the ball at a high rate. They said that sounded like a sneaky run game. Hey, it was a sneaky good run game. Because we saw 2018, they were the best running team in the NFL. And in 2019, they were still a top 4 rushing team. So, they were getting yardage on the ground. They were getting yardage on the ground. So let's look at 2020, man. Let's go along. Now, this is the year where they let Russ cook. You remember they were beating the table. Let Russ throw the ball more. Let Russ cook. Let Russ do this. Let Russ do that. Okay. Well, their run game suffered for it. They dropped a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, they were still a top half rushing team, right? They were the 12th rushing team in the NFL. Had 1,971 yards, 411 attempts. They still averaged 4.8 yards a carry, which would have placed them right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that would have been 7th. They would have been the 7th most efficient running game in the NFL that year. Right? So what do we know about them? Hold on. before I segue too far, let me take a look at their first down rushing attempts. This is actually the most they ever ran it on first down in his 3 years there. %. 27%. All right, and it's still what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, yeah. So what do these numbers tell us, in regards to what Brian Schottenheimer was able to do in Seattle? Well, every year he had a rushing offense that was in the top 13. Year 1, they were the best rushing attack in the NFL. Year 2, they were the 4th best rushing attack in the NFL. Year 3, even with less attempts, they were the 12th best rushing team in the NFL, and they were still 7th in yards per carry. So they were a very dominant run game, right? They were very efficient. They were getting good yards per attempt every year, right? The only thing that dipped, while he was there, was the rushing attempts, and that was a little bit more on, the outcry of people wanting to push for Russell Wilson to throw the ball more. Like, he caved in a little bit. He let Russ throw the ball a little bit more. The run game did get impacted by it, but they were still a very good run team despite all of that. So let's go even deeper, right? Let's go even deeper. I'm going to go ahead and put this down real quick. So how would he carry distributed, right? We're just talking about what the overall run offense did. Like first, 2018, 4th, 2019, 12th, 2020. Who was getting these carries though? Who was the person getting the carries? Was it a dominant running back? Was it running back by committee? How was Brian Schottenheimer doing damage in the run game? Well, let's find out. We're going to pull up what the Seahawks did that year. And we're going to see who all the hell was carrying the ball. Was this one dominant running back? Was this a running back by committee? How the hell were they rushing the ball like this? Well, let's find out. Google is your friend. Google is your friend. And thank God that we stay in a technology-driven era, so where a lot of this stuff is not hard to find. Okay. Yo, what's up with you, Matt Leslie? Salute to you. He said, yeah, Chris Carson's and others. I'm finna actually screen share. We're gonna break it down. We're gonna take a real good look at it. All right, so this is the 2018 Seattle Seahawks. As my brother Matt Leslie just mentioned, their leading rusher was indeed Chris Carson. Chris Carson ended up, only playing 14 games, but he still ended up with 247 rushing attempts, 1,151 yards on the ground, and 9 rushing touchdowns. Averaged about 82 yards a game. Right? Real good. What tripped me out is that Mike Davis, I'm going to click on this thing. Yeah, Mike Davis, they got him listed as a wide receiver, but he's obviously a running back. All right, so Mike Davis was their second leading rusher. He had 112 attempts, 514 yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, right? Average 4.6 yards a carry, which was not a lot different than what Chris Carson gave them in 4.7. Then your next leading rusher ended up being Rashad Penny. Rashad Penny came in and dished in 85 carries, 419 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns, while averaging 4.9 yards an attempt. right? So that's a three-headed monster at running back, right? You had 1,000-yard rusher, you had another rusher, pick up 514 yards. You had Rashard Penny end up picking up 419, and then Russell Wilson was also involved in the run game, not to the same extent, right? But he ended up with 67 carries, 376 yards. He even had a 40-yard run. I did not know Russell Wilson had a run that long in his career, but that's what's up. Then they even got Tyler Lockett involved. Tyler Lockett had 13 attempts and 69 yards. Right, so there was a bunch of people that ended up pitching in for this running game to be successful. So, it was closer to a running back by committee than it was to, hey, they had one singular running back that got 300 carries, right? That's what we used to do with Ezekiel Elliott. We know when Zeke was the lead dog in his prime, he was easily getting over 300 rushing attempts on the season. They did a much better job of distributing the ball around. Of course, Chris Carson was still the featured back, but there was other guys that pitched in the run game. But like you see, there was 3 running backs that had over 400 yards. Russell Wilson gave him over 300 yards himself in the run game. Right, so that's how the rushing was broke down in 2018. So let's go and take a look at the very next season, the 2019 season for the Seattle Seahawks. So did they move back to a running back by committee kind of deal, or was it okay? So this is not really running back by committee. This is more of Chris Carson. Chris Carson, ended up with 278 carries, 1,230 yards, 7 rushing touchdowns. Russ he had the second most attempts. He had 75 rushing attempts, 342 yards, pitched in 3 rushing touchdowns. Penny had 65 attempts, 370 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. Process 23 attempts, 72 yards. Travis Homer, 18 attempts, 114 yards. Right, so lion's share of the carries and production did come from Chris Carson this year in 2019. Yeah, Tyler Lockett is very underrated. All right, so let's go back and look. Final year in 2020, what did they do in the run game? We know this was the year they were the least productive. So let's see what happened in 2020. How were these carries distributed? Okay. So looks like even though he was their leading rusher, Chris Carson missed 4 games. So Chris Carson only had 141 attempts. He missed 4 games, had 681 rushing yards. Russell Wilson was way more involved in the run game. He had 513 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. Carlos Hyde pitched in 356 yards and 4 touchdowns. DJ Dallas gave him 108 yards. Travis Homer, 88. Alex Collins, my boy from Arkansas, gave him 77. David Moore, 61. Rashard Penny, 34. So they really were a running back by committee, but that looks more like by necessity since Chris Carson missed the 4th of the season. All right, so he missed the 4th of the season, so that's why they ended up having that distributed like that. So what do these numbers actually tell us, about his running scheme? Well, obviously, it was not, a system like what we ran. Right, we had 2 defined running backs carrying the load last year. Tony Pollard had 191 rushing attempts. Ezekiel Elliott had 240, if I'm not mistaken. So there was only like a 50 carry gap in between running back 1 and running back 2. Right, whoever you want to define as that. But he really did, for the most part, give Chris Carson the lion's share of the carries. And then it looks like the other guys when the running back by committee came in. So Chris Carson got his when he was available, but the other guys there was no. I'm put it like this: like they had a Zeke, but they didn't have a Tony Pollard, right? So your main guy got to eat, got to do what he wanted to do. The guys behind him, they probably just went with the hot hand in regards to running back two, just with the way that the carries are broken down year to year to year to year. So it's more than likely that that's the case. Landlord from Wakanda, you've been around that vibranium way too long, my boy. You've been around that vibranium. You tripping. We ain't bringing that boy back. We're gonna have to duel about that. I will not want any parts of killing. So just judging by that, right? He did feature his primary running back the most, but at the same time, we saw that all these other guys in the running back room got touches. The quarterback was involved in the running game. Russell Wilson had a season with over 500 rushing yards, right? So just judging by his most recent history, because he's been a play caller in the league for a very long time, but we're just going to judge his most recent tendencies as a play caller, right, and try to project that on the players that we have, right? Tony Pollard is obviously your best running back, right? He's made a Pro Bowl last year, averaged over 5 yards a carry, just about 6 yards a touch, had over 1,300 yards on offense. He is definitely going to be the Chris Carson of this team. He's going to be the running back that they're going to feature while he's healthy. Right? Chris Carson got more carries, more rushing yards, more rushing touchdowns than anybody else in that Seattle offense because he was the best running back they had. But, as I mentioned, as a parallel, right, they did not really have a defined running back too. All these other running backs got in where they fit in. They all those other running backs split carries. So, it really will be for somebody like Schottenheimer, running back by committee, to an extent. Because the committee is going to be making up the committee as a backup unit. It's going to be a committee of backup running backs. But as we see, there was not a season outside of when Chris Carson only played 12 games where he did not get at least 230 carries. Right? Because 2019, he got 278 rushing attempts. The year before that, he got 247 rushing attempts. So if we're just going to project what to expect for Tony Pollard, his role is defined. He's the best running back. We know that the best running back in his system last 3 years got the lion's share of the carries. So Tony Pollard is going to have about 240 carries, probably. I'm gonna jot him down. If Tony Pollard stay healthy, we're gonna give him 240. We're gonna give him 240 on the low end. But now begs the question of who the hell is gonna get all the other rushing attempts, right? Like, who the hell is gonna get these other rushing attempts? Because remember, if you look down here, right, let's scan right back down. That's 112 rushing attempts by Mike Davis. That's 85 rushing attempts by Rashad Penny. Right, so that's over 200 more rushing attempts that are not accounted for. So the question is, if we're going to run at the same clip that they were running before, who is going to get these other 200 carries? Right, and listen, we really do have 230 something carries to replace because of Ezekiel Elliott being gone. So who's going to get the rest of those carries? We think we can pencil in Tony for about 240. Well, let's take a look at the Dallas Cowboys' current roster. But matter of fact, I'm getting too far ahead of myself. Let's actually, before we get to the rest of the current roster, let's talk about the new run scheme, right? Because people are forgetting The Dallas Cowboys are moving away from a gap style of run blocking to a zone style of run blocking. And we're just going to, gloss over the intricacies in that real quick. Right? We're just gonna gloss over real quick the intricacies and the differences of a gap style run scheme and a zone style run scheme, which will be pretty fun. So Google is your friend. I'm actually going to read y'all this article from 2014. All right, and this is from Bleacher Report. Talk about introducing the zone running game. So I'm finna screen share it for you, and we're gonna break it down real quick. So remember, we are moving to a zone running scheme this year. All right. So this is it right here. All right. So in last week's NFL one-on-one breakdown, they focused on the core of power running schemes that use man or angle blocks at the point of attack to create running lanes, with lead blockers working up through the hole. Today, let's take a look at the zone schemes that show up consistently on the tape across the NFL, with offensive linemen taking a zone step in unison to play the side in order to block an area or the first defender to show in their gap. This allows the offensive line to block multiple defensive fronts with the ability to work up to the second level linebackers who flow to the ball versus the zone schemes. NFL teams that feature zone concepts look for backs who have vision, speed through the hole, and cutback ability to find running lanes at the point of attack. Right. So who did that sound like real quick though? That sounds like Tony Pollard, right? So, I'm not sure, of how effective this zone scheme will be for offensive line personnel, but, Tony Pollard is a running back that is suited for a zone run scheme, just from the way that they stated it. He has vision, he has speed, he's a home run hitter. You need to accelerate through the holes made from this blocking scheme. It sounds like Tony Pollard to me. Right? Think of LaShawn McCoy in Chip Kelly's system. Arian Foster, Matt Forte, Marshawn Lynch, Alfred Morris, Reggie Bush, Jamal Charles. Backs who can press the hole, identify the proper running lanes, and showcase the vertical burst to get up the field. Using the All 22 coaches tape. Here's a list of the zone running schemes we will focus on today. 1 back outside zone, 2 back outside zone, inside zone, split zone, stretch G, outside zone. Right, so they're going into specifics of that. Right, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves though. I think the receivers will make some of them up. Possibly so. So is Deuce Vaughn too. I agree. Like Deuce Vaughn, if he gets his opportunities, he probably would fit the new style of running game that they want to have. I'm pretty sure of that. All right, so let's talk about these different run schemes though, real quick. We're talking about the scheme. Let's talk about it in detail. We're gonna eat it. We're gonna do it big. All right. 1 back outside zone. The 1 back outside zone is the most common zone-based running scheme we see in the NFL today versus 4-3, 3-4, and nickel defensive fronts. All right, so this is a staple. So those are the 3 most run fronts that you're going to see. Most teams actually stay in nickel majority of the game because of it is a passing league. Most teams have multiple good wide receivers. But outside of nickel, we all know 4-3, 4 down linemen, three linebackers, and 3-4, 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers. Right? We all know this terminology. Teams will run the outside zone from a shotgun alignment, pistol, or with the back in the dot, aligned directly behind the quarterback under center. Out of the jet 10, 4 wide receiver, 1 back, 11 personnel, 1 tight end, 1 running back, 12 personnel. Right, there's 2 tight ends, 1 back, and the heavy package, which is 13 personnel. 3 tight ends, 1 backer. And this is just a image of it. All right, so you see how the zone is blocking. So they're going to zone up. He's going to go to this area of the field. He's going to go to this area of the field. He'll go to this one, this one, this one. So the zone, they're all going to flow to the left on this particular zone run. And they're just going to block whoever gets in their way, basically. If you're in the area that they're supposed to go to, you're going to get your head blown off. So that's basically how that works. And looks like he'll be the one person, this tight end right here, who's going to go out and get a D in over here. Just so there's nobody to chase it down from the backside. He's gonna go back over here and get that defensive end. All right. Oh, I'm glad they're using this. They said the Seahawks use a zone step to the close side of the formation. This allows the close side tight end, tackle, guard, center to work in unison while blocking the first defender who shows up in their gap. Right? Pretty much what we were just talking about. To the backside or open side of the formation, the guard and tackle step to the play side with the tight end using a hinge technique to block the defensive end. Using this blocking scheme, Marshawn Lynch can press the ball to the edge of the formation or use his vision to get to the cutback inside based on the linebacker's pursuit angle. Right? So what he is saying is because they are blocking this in the zone, right? They're flowing to this area. Right? He can either try and press the hole and get up, or right, because there's a hole right there. There's a hole right there. He can take it back outside, or he can bounce back in for the cutback lane and come through here. Because really what he's looking at is the pursuit angle of this linebacker right here. Right? Depending on how he plays it, he can overrun this play. He could try to fill in right here. It will determine which way he'll be able to take the ball. But this gives your running back options. Right, it gets your running back a lot of options about where to take this ball. So it actually gives your running game a multiple look. When you think about it. I'm gonna go take a look at it, man. I actually did not. Yeah, don't use who as an example. Oh, you're talking Gary Kubiak. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. With the linebacker flowing strong, Lynch identifies the defender in the hole, uses his vision to find the running room, and cuts back to work vertically up the field. This forces the safety in run support to make an upfield tackle versus Lynch after a positive gain in the zone scheme. 2-back outside zone. The 2-back outside zone uses the same zone blocking principles of the 1-back looking with a fullback or halfback leading to the edge of the formation to track the first defender who shows as the primary run support player. Right? So think of the strong safety roll down in cover 3. Okay, he gave that as a visual thing. Let's check out an example of the 2-back outside zone using the film from the Redskins Vikings matchup this past season with regular 21 personnel. So they got two wide receivers, 2 backs, 1 tight end. on the field for Washington. All right. So they're zoning this way. Right? They're zoning this way. So he's gonna go that way. He's gonna go that way, that way, that way. They're all gonna flow to this area. They're all gonna flow to this area. With the offensive line stepping to the play side, right? Because that's what they call the play side, of course, where the play is happening, right? There's no common terminology. And both guards working up to the second level to pick up the linebackers flowing to the ball. The fullback takes an outside path to the edge of the formation and tracks the primary run support player. This gives the running back, Alfred Morris, the ability to press the ball outside or look for cutback lanes inside to make one cut and vertically attack the defense. Right, so pretty much what they're trying to say is he's going to press the issue. He's going to follow the fullback, of course. He's going to be one of the lead blockers. And the fullback job is to track down the primary guy that the defense has in run support. So, if he can pick him up, they're able to get to the second level, create a big play, and, they're gone. Hey, what's up with you, Dunny Holmes? Salute to you. I see you sliding in. Do we care about their O-line in this deep dive? Yes. Yes, because we're talking about the O-line basically because we're switching our entire offensive scheme this year. We're moving to this particular style of run game. We're moving to a zone running scheme, and we need to know the running scheme to determine which running backs we have that best fit this scheme. Right, so in order to be able to be a good running back in a run scheme. As they mentioned earlier within this article, you have to have speed, vision, good acceleration, and pretty damn good instincts as well. So, a bruising style running back, even though it's something that I personally want, regardless of schemes and system, I believe you should have, a sledgehammer out there. You should have somebody that can bust heads, get you the good, dirty 1 or 2 yards, do this and that. But this particular scheme, that's sort of the reason why, they went out there and got all these little speed backs. That's sort of the reason why they went out there and got all these little speed backs, because in this particular scheme, right, you need guys that can go for the home run ball. Cause that's pretty much what you're trying to get. You're trying to block up everything on a particular side of the ball. So that your guy can find the hole, find a crease, and hopefully his speed and acceleration leads to a big play. In this particular formation, right, in this particular play, he's going to follow the fullback. The fullback is pretty much going to be head hunting the defense's best run support guy, and then based off of what the fullback does, will also determine on how he's able to press the play. Henny, man, with us changing our run scheme, you think that is why we went and got these athletic tackles and Mahler and Bass as well? Well, hey, I spoke about TJ Bass. TJ Bass was the highest rated zone running offensive lineman in the NCAA the last 2 seasons. So, that's one of the reasons why I felt like they went ahead and picked him up as an undrafted free agent, because he played in this particular style of zone, this particular style, this zone run scheme, and he excelled at it. That's why I think they went and picked him up, and that's why I believe that they're going to keep him around. He has a real good shot of being a plug and play guy down the line. Like I do. I could be wrong because I'm not always right, but I feel very highly about TJ Bass. Like I feel very highly about TJ Bass. Yep, see, I researched that, man. Yeah, facts, man. I gotta put the research in, my boy. But moving along, let's continue the article. This is some good stuff, man. This some good stuff. With the offensive line stepping to the play side and both guards working up to the second level to pick up the linebackers flowing to the ball, the fullback takes an outside path to the edge of the formation and tracks the primary run support player. This gives back Alfred Morris the ability to press the play outside or look to cut back lanes inside to make one cut and vertically attack the defense. This is the guy that's defending the cutback, right? Because he's 71, right? And because think about how this is blocked up. He's going here, 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 right? And it's going there. And hey, listen, in the other, in some more other schemes, right? He might be actually accounted for. Like this guy might come over here and block him in our old scheme. But everybody's flowing over here. This is just a cutback defender. Either he gonna hold contain or he gonna chase the play down. Just depending on what his assignment is. Take a look at the defensive end, Jared Allen, highlighted in green to the backside of the formation, aligned in the Vikings 4-3 front. In the zone scheme, the cutback defender is often left unblocked, so the tackle guard combo can step play side, gain an extra blocker, and work up to the second level on the defense. Allen is responsible for the cutback run, boot, and the reverse, and must squeeze restrict the edge to prevent Morris from cutting back side after the handoff versus the fast flow to the ball. Right, so this is Jared Allen, like we mentioned. He's going to defend the play action boot. So if 10 was to keep it, he gonna track 10 down. Then if he ain't gonna keep it, he gonna track it. He gonna track the play. He gonna follow the ball. Morris can follow the fullback and press the edge of the formation. However, with the center taking care of the nose tackle and the right guard sealing off the linebacker at the second level, Morris identifies the inside running lane, makes one quick cut, and bursts through the hole for an explosive game versus the Vikings. This is a perfect example of a running back executing the zone scheme by showing patience with the ball and using his vision to find a lane to get vertically up the field. Now, one thing we do know about Tony Pollard and how he would fit into a scheme like this, right? Hey, my boy said I'm right about 97% of the time. I appreciate that, Brian. Salute to you. Thomas Garrett, what's up with you? Hey, so over it. Thank you for sliding in. Iceberg said the team's third and fourth corners will not be able to cover Jalen and Simi. They will have too many one-on-one opportunities. I got Dak going for over 5,000 yards this season. Man, he might. He damn sure might. But hey, Joshua Fisher said it's about time for a light break, man. So let's take a look. So yeah, man, it's about 27 people in the building, and there's 24 likes. So anybody that has not yet hit the like button, please hit the like button for your boy, man. It'll be greatly appreciated for you to hit the like button. It'll be greatly appreciated for you to hit the Cash App and hit the super chat or hit the super sticker. I'm trying to see y'all to this game. I want y'all to go. So you want to enter into the raffle. It's $10 per entry, and y'all know the score. All right, now that we got the light break out the way, I ran my little promotion. Yo, Sports Guru 95, what's up with you, man? Salute to you. I just now see you done ran into the building, man. Tommy Montoya, what's up with you, my brother? Salute to you. Thank you for sliding to the liquor store. For anybody that's late coming in, man, we are talking about the 2023 run game, what to expect. So, we talked about Brian Schottenheimer's track record in Seattle. We looked at the offensive production of the run game first. Now we're looking at the zone run scheme that we will incorporate into our offensive attack this year, and we'll just break it down to principles. I found a real good article that explains the zone run plays, in detail, and the ins and outs of the zone blocking scheme. So we're just going through that, man. We're having a real good time with this stuff too, man. All right, so if you study the read option, all right, this is the inside zone. So this is the next principle we'll talk about. If you study the read option, they call it package plays, like, whatever. Then you have seen multiple examples of the inside zone scheme from the shotgun and pistol alignments with the quarterback reading the path of the edge defender through the mesh points, right? Also run from a dot alignment, which is 12 personnel, 11 personnel under center. The running back takes an inside path downhill with the offensive lineman using the same technique up front to step to the play side of the formation while blocking the first defender who shows up in the gap. So, zone, hey, think about zone blocking like this. First come, first serve. First come, first serve. You show up at the door, you're going to get folded. All right, so here's an example of a regular inside run. Out of the shotgun. This is actually the Eagles, but this is so far back in the day. This is Nick Foles handing the ball off. All right, so here's an example of the inside zone. Bucks matchup. So this is going to be with 11 personnel. And it's a double slot orange formation. So it's a spread look. As you can see, the running back on this zone run has two options. He can flow with the direction of the play, right? Everybody is flowing left. 76. If he goes into this zone, he's going to take up this defensive end right here. He's going to flow over here. He's going to flow here. He's going to flow here, right? And then he is going to be the guy that is the hinge block, seals this off right here. He's going to take this defensive end. So the running back can either if the blocks line up perfectly, if everybody has their guys, everybody over here is picked up, right? If all the guys getting picked up and this is blocked up good, he can go over here and there'll probably be a nice little running lane for him to hit to get some real good positive yardage. If this is not right, if this ain't blocked up to the way that he wants it to, he can always cut it back. If they flow over here, he can always cut it back. There's nobody here. If he flows over here and he flows down over here, there's nobody over here. There's nothing but green grass. So the running back, has, he really can't be wrong. If he reads the play correctly, he will never be wrong. Right? He will find a crease. He'll be able to go ahead and hit his head on the goalpost. Hopefully, we know a guy like Tony Pollard. If you give Tony Pollard a crease like this, right? Because you see how this is gonna pan out if this is blocked up good. There will be a big ass hole right here if everything is blocked up good for the cutback lane. It said, Henny, this is a great Thursday, sipping on Remy VSOP and Pabst Blue Ribbon, looking at a great sunset. Listen to great info and content, bro. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Hey, that's real love right there, and I appreciate that. Like, real talk. All right, so they say the Bucks were in a cover 6. So they had a soft box. We definitely do not see many people in the box. I see 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 people in the box. There's only 6 people in the box. That's a very light box. Hold up. This allows the offensive line to step to the open weak side of the formation with the left tackle using a hinge technique to wash the defensive end up the field on the outside rush. Right? So, we see the play in motion. Right? He flowed. He didn't even come down. He flowed his ass out of the play. Right? So he flowed all the way over there. He went over here, got him. He went over this way, got him. Like they got to the second level. He was able to get this guy. So they're all running over here. He cuts back, and this is an even better illustration of it. Imagine this was Tony Pollard. This is 6. This is 6 for Tony. This is 6 for Tony. And that is exactly why Tony Pollard, is a guy that they kept around. Hey, shout out to Dunny Holmes for the $10. Oh, super, man. So I appreciate you for the love, my guy. Salute to you. And Dunny, they got you another entry into the Dallas Cowboy jersey raffle. They got you another entry, Dunny. So let me go ahead and get your stuff added up real quick. I like to do it as it happens, just so I don't ever forget. So, hey, that's your 3rd entry, man. So you got 3 entries to win, one of these tickets or this PlayStation 4 jersey. So if y'all want to be like my brother Dunny and improve your odds of getting the Dallas Cowboy tickets or the Dallas Cowboy jersey, y'all just go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that Cash App, hit that super chat, hit the super stickers. Salute to y'all. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'm elated for Tony Pollard to get this opportunity, because when you describe a player that would fit this zone style run offense, Tony Pollard is a guy that set the NCAA record for return touchdowns. He had 6 collegiate return touchdowns in Memphis. So he is a guy that has great vision already. He's a guy with speed. We know that he put up a 4.3, at his pro day. So we know that he is very explosive, very elusive. He's all those things that you look for, in terms of a zone running back. So yeah, just imagine that being Tony Pollard. This is trouble, right? So let's continue with the article. This is trouble for the Bucs as the center works up to the Mike backer and the right guard flattens the nose tackle. That gives running back Shady McCoy an easy read to attack the inside lane with the defensive end now removed to the close side of the formation. And with the free safety slow in his run pass read, McCoy gashes the Bucs defense for an explosive gain because the zone blocking up front versus the soft run box. So the next play is going to be called a split zone. Right, so I wonder why they got that name, right? I wonder why it's called a split zone. The split zone is a variation of the base zone running game, with the fullback, halfback pulling opposite side of the blocking scheme up front to kick out the cutback defender. Also called the beam technique block. The halfback or the tight end off the ball, if you're in 12 personnel, pulls to create a cutback lane versus the defender who is left unblocked. Think of a trap block versus the edge defender who is squeezing to the play side flow. Let's take a look of this example of the split zone from the Seattle Seahawks Cardinals matchup, and it came out of 12 personnel, right? And this is Seattle again, right? Coincidentally, this is Seattle again. Now, he was not here at this point. Like a lot of these plays are from 2014. If you were wondering how back this stuff was, but I digress. He said, "Oh shoot, I see you have the super chat now. Cool. You know what's coming from me. You know how I do. Hey, smoke one for you. I do, and I do appreciate you for that, man." He said, "This is why Dak Prescott has more control over the offense. Check put plays, Cooks running that skinny post, putting mad stress on them safeties, open up the floodgates." Man, I agree with you, man. I do agree with you, man. People be looking at us crazy when we say that Dak Prescott's like Peyton Manning at the line of scrimmage, man. That boy knows how to get that done, man. Like he knows how to get everybody in and out the sets that he wants. Like pre-snap, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL in play recognition. All right, so let's continue with the article real quick, my good friends. So let's take a look. So he's going to be the cutback defender. Right, he's the cutback defender. So he's going to zone over here. He's going to zone here. He's going to zone here, zone here, zone here, zone here. And then he's either going to go here. Oh, I forgot. You see this right here? This is actually going to be somebody that's going to pull, right? One few times you're going to see this. Somebody is going to come from this side of the ball, for this side of the field, play side, and they're going to just take the backside defender out the game. They're going to run. They're going to blow him up. So that gives your running back the option of either A, flowing play side where everybody else is zone blocking to, right? They're all zone blocking over here. But if he pancakes him, right? If this is a very good blocking tight end, right? Or maybe you have an extra lineman on the field, right? Depending on how you want to run your heavy sets. He can come over here, pancake this backside cutter, and he can either A, flow to this play side, and there might be space there, but if he blows him up, right, he's probably going to flow with the play. There's going to be a lot of green grass. And there might not be an angle. If he flows over here too, this safety that's right outside of the screen, you're going to see his lower portion. If he flows over here with the on play side, because you see everybody else moving in the jump, and this guy blows him up, there's not really anybody else over here. So if he takes this on the outside, right? If he decides to go over here and go to the cutback side, there might not be anybody over here. He might hit his head on the goalpost. Think Dak is more like Tim Tebow at the line of scrimmage. Eastside, you pay the dollar, so you get a penny for your thoughts, even though they're horrible thoughts. I'm gonna let you make it. So y'all don't whack Eastside Harold anytime soon. He paid so he could stay. But we all know, because Drew Brees even talked about how good of a quarterback that Dak Prescott is, man. Drew Brees even talked about how good of a quarterback Dak Prescott was with his play recognition and how accurately he throws the ball. So we got too much analytical data to back the fact that Dak Prescott is one of them. Like he's one of those top tier quarterbacks. So we're not going to entertain foolishness and rubbish. Double R, why you whack my boy, man? Henny too late. You done killed my boy, man. It's all good. He'll be back. No, but back to the content. The Seahawks are running the zone scheme to the open side of the formation, right? The offensive line steps to the open side of the formation with the Y tight end on the ball, working up to the second level of the defense. This forces the second level linebackers to flow hard to the play side with the H-back using the BIM technique, as you know, that's going back across on the other side and blowing that up to cut the versus the cutback defender. Lynch can press the ball to the play side of the formation or the cutback and attack the running lane created by the halfback on the pool. So see, like I said, he came back, right? He came back and pancaked the cutback defender, right? And we were talking about in the last image. Well, he didn't get too far outside. He didn't get too far outside, but he still has to guess, right? He didn't flow all the way over here. But Lynch can still take the ball up here, or he can take the ball out here. So, he still can choose wrong, and he can still take a bad angle to the ball, which still leads to a very positive play nonetheless. Dak knows pre-snap no more, putting all the attention on CeeDee Lamb. Better know where the Cooks is. Exactly. Having Brandon Cooks on the field is a game changer. Yes. And listen, I'm gonna actually do some content about how this is the fastest offensive group of offensive personnel that Dak Prescott has ever had. Like I don't think he ever had a team this fast. You got a 4-3 guy in Cooks, you got a 4-3 guy in Tony Pollard, you got a 4-2 guy in Kevontae Turpin. You picked up another 4-3 guy in Tyron Johnson if he makes the team. Jalen Tolbert ran a 4-4 at the combine. So he got a lot of speed, right? He got a lot more speed than he's used to having. So I'm excited about that. He actually has guys that can turn a dump down pass into a home run on certain occasions. He has guys that can be vertical threats. So I think that coupled with this zone run scheme is going to be very fun. He said, Neil said, "What up, Henny? It's storming here right now, so I was only able to slap 9 Eagles fans tonight. My brother Neil, the serial slapper, feeling extra dapper, that came into the liquor store. So salute to you, my man. Salute to you. Hey, even on a rainy day, he found 9 Eagles fans and slapped the shit out of them, man. And remember, if you slap the shit out of an Eagles fan, you will get half off all the merchandise inside the liquor store." He said Dak Prescott and Drew Brees are close. I did not know that, Thomas. I did not know that. So, I didn't know that, man. I'm going to have to do some research on that. But I appreciate you adding that tidbit in there. I'm going to put that on the screen real quick. He said Dak and Drew are close. They're business partners. I had no idea. But, I do remember in 2016, Dak Prescott said he followed Drew Brees around like a lost puppy when they went to the Pro Bowl. He was trying to soak up as much game as he could. So that's cool though, man. That's cool. All right, coaches will teach. So we're gonna go back to the article real quick. And I know it's long-winded. It's gonna be a long show tonight, but it's gonna be a very long show. But it's gonna be a show. That's nutrient dense. We're gonna have a lot of good tidbits, a lot of good information for y'all, man. So hey, it's definitely gonna have some rewatchability. Coaches will teach the halfback in this situation to cut the backside defender, chop back at the knees. When he squeezes off the edge, and that's what we see here from the Seahawks with the flow of the defense attacking to the open side. This allows Lynch with the crack block from the wide receiver on the safety to cut the ball back and bounce this run to the outside for a productive gain. The split zone has some similarities to the wham block we talked about last week when looking at the 49ers tape. Force the defense to flow play side and trap the edge defender to backside to provide a backside running lane. All right, this is going to be the stretch G. This is the next concept we're going to talk about in regards to this. Hey, man, I'm amped, man. Even reading about this new zone scheme, it adds a lot of clarity about to why, some of these personnel choices were made. They don't have a power back. They don't have a power back. I still have a couple of questions. How they're going to handle red zone offense, but they might. They might be doing more read options in the red zone. They might be doing more read options in the red zone over straight power. I still prefer having at least one power back on the team, but I do understand why a lot of the guys are like little speedy backs. All right, so back to the stretch G. All right, it's a zone blocking scheme, same technique as the one back outside zone, with the play side guard pulling to block the first defender who shows up in his gap. Teams will also run the stretch C and pull the center to the edge of the formation to target the primary edge support player. All right, so here it go. Okay. So this is the guard that's going to be the stretch. In the stretch G, this is the guard that's going to stretch. He is going to be the person to leave this area of the field. He's going to flow over here, and he is going to take care of him, who is going to be the run support guy. He's going to be the primary run support guy on this team, because he's going to flow over here and get him. He's going to flow up. If he comes over here, get him. He's going to flow to this side. He's going to flow up and get him. He's going to flow up and get him. Oops. Got a little bit. All right. The Redskins are showing their 3-4 defensive front with the nose guard in a shade, outside shoulder of the center, and the close side defensive end in an FI, inside shoulder of the tackle. The offensive line steps to the play side with the center reaching on the nose and the tackle blocking the defensive end. That allows offensive guard Kyle Long to pull and fit up on the linebacker who shows in his gap. Out of the pistol alignment, running back Matt Forte can press the ball to the play side or look to cut back depending on the path from the open side outside linebacker. So this is the play in motion. This is how the play ended up happening, right? This is the guy they circled. This was the pull. This was the stretch G. He came from over here, right? He vacated this area. He went and zoned this up. He went and got him. He didn't do a good job of blocking his guy, but he's far enough out the play for it to matter. He can still push him downfield, right? He can still push him downfield. They let him run free. It doesn't matter. He's going to either accelerate through the hole and get here, or he's going to cut and get to the daylight, right? So this opened up him vacating this area and him, you know, flowing with the traffic, open up a big play opportunity right here. You can see he's already has his back turned to the hole. You know, unless he overpowers his guy and gets there, there's nothing they can do, right? Because if he gets pushed out the play, this is going to be a huge play. This is going to be like a 30-40 yard run probably. Hey, shout out to Roster X. Said feels like there should be more of this concept scheme personnel breakdowns during the off season. Really appreciate this, bro. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate you, Roster. And my boy, that got you 2 more entries into the Dallas Cowboy ticket raffle, man. So, hey, you were already leading the way. You already had the most raffle entries, my brother. And now you have, so that puts you at 16. So you got 16 raffle entries and the best odds of winning the grand prize. So salute to you, brother. If y'all want to be like my brother Roster X, and you know, if y'all want to improve your odds of winning the Dallas Cowboy ticket or this PlayStation 4 jersey, hit the Cash App, hit the Super Chat, you know, hit the stuff up. Yeah, love seeing the X's and O's, Sandy. Hey, I appreciate that. I'm gonna do a little bit more of it then, man. We're gonna do a little bit more with long fitting up on the linebacker. Forte, you could tell this stuff is old, man. Cause Forte been out the league for forever. That boy was hard though. Y'all remember that Forte was hard. With long fitting up on the linebacker, Forte can follow the path of the guard up the field or look for running room inside. Here, Forte cuts this ball back to the open side of the formation because of the flow from the defense and the ability of the guard to fit up on the inside linebacker, attempting to scrape over the top. So, you know, I like it. And listen, it's gonna really be hard to key in. Roster X said, think about all the Eagle fans he can slap. He said, tornado warning here, still won't keep me from slapping. Bet, man. Hey, I'm gonna take a look at the film you posted, man. I definitely will. And you know, as long as it doesn't copyright me, I definitely will use it in one of the shows. You know, that's why I like using this. And I got like all 22 film. You know, I got all 22 film from the previous season. But you know, now that I'm monetized on here, like they ding everything I do. You know, I used to show y'all like these guys highlight reels and stuff like that, and they be dinging me for that now. So you know, like I'm gonna have to probably put some B-roll together for some all 22 film and show some of these concepts. But yeah, I definitely will use your that footage you sent me, my boy. You know it's all up. In fact, I'm gonna go screen record it when I get off of here with you, just so I have it on deck, and that way I can upload it next time. So this is gonna be the outside zone, ghost motion. As we talked about above, the cutback defender, you know, away from the play side, you know, is often left unblocked so the offense can gain an extra blocker and eliminate flow pursuit of the ball. However, to prevent the cutback defender from squeezing the inside and making a play when the ball cuts back, offenses will use the wide receiver on ghost motion into the backfield. Okay. When we know that we need to utilize more motion. So, you know, I like motion on the run game too. I know a lot of people think about motion just in the pass game. Having motion. So do I have a Patreon? I don't have a Patreon. I have all 22 from you know, I have paid for you know, NFL. I got NFL Plus. So I got all 22 from NFL Plus. The only downside about it is, you know, it doesn't let me go back and look at the all 22 from previous seasons. It just let me look at the all 22 from the past season. So even if I wanted to go and get some all 22 from the 2021 season, it won't let me do that. So this forces the cutback defender to hold backside and play for a possible wide receiver reverse. Here's a quick example, right? This is an all 22 angle. Bears Viking matchup, 11 personnel, right? And this is from a spread formation. So ghost motion, right? It's only ghost motion, right? Because he's not really live. We like his ghost. The offense knows it's ghost. The defense does not know it's ghost. It's ghost because they know that he's not. The offense know he's not getting the ball. He's a decoy. Defense still has to account for the wide receiver on ghost motion, as they said. There's a possibility he could. There's plays where he can get handed the ball, and on plays like that, right? He would get the ball. He would get the ball. He might even come over here and block. But ghost motion. He gonna hold the cutback defender. And he gonna take his ass on through the hole. Yeah, man, it's got the KCS San Francisco concepts, a lot of West Coast and Seattle run calls as well. So our fans get an idea what kind of offense we are dealing with and why we have explosive players. Malik Davis, I think that's. Hey, listen, I want to see Malik Davis get a fair shot. He has a lot of upside. He's extremely talented. And in the limited opportunities he had last year, he was pretty damn good. So I wouldn't mind having Malik Davis, get some run, like get some burn. I like Malik Davis. I do like Malik Davis. The Bears are running the one back outside zone scheme, but they send Alshon Jeffrey on short divide motion, and they say divide motion into the core of the formation, and run the wide receiver on the ghost action to hold the backside defensive end. This will create another opportunity for Forte as he can cut the ball back with the end now playing for the reverse. Right, so we done went through it. We actually got through all these different ones. We actually got through all these different schemes. So now we understand, what a zone scheme is. A zone scheme just means the entire offensive line is going to flow to a particular side of the field. They're going to flow to the play side, and they're just going to block up whoever gets in their damn way. Right? Instead of being I'm gonna block this guy right in front of me, this guy right in front of me. They're gonna flow to a particular area of the field, right? They're gonna flow to a particular zone on the field, and whoever comes into that zone is gonna get blocked. And then we talked about the different kind of zone runs that occur off of these zone blocking schemes, right? So I can see it. I see exactly what they're trying to do. Right. So now that we understand the zone run scheme, right? Now that we did the leg work and deciphered the zone running scheme, now, right, we did all that. Now we can take a look at our offensive personnel and how they would fit into the zone run scheme. Right now we can deep dive into Tony Pollard, and we can deep dive to Malik Davis, Deuce Vaughn, guys of that ilk. We can talk about those guys now because now we know what the offensive system is going to ask them to do. You got to be explosive. You got to be fast. You got to have vision. You got to be able to read the flow of the defensive line and find the cutback lanes when they are available. So we know what their responsibility is in the run game. Like we know their responsibilities in the run game. So let's go and take a look at our personnel now. So Dallas Cowboys 2023 roster. Matter of fact, I'm not going to even go do that. I'm just going to pull up Malik Davis. We're talking about the boy in the chat. I don't understand why I also don't understand why he didn't get an opportunity in that 49ers game. And think about it, man. Well, it's crazy. I bring it up. I watched the Dallas Cowboys versus 49ers game last night. Like, it takes me time to actually go back and watch these games. But once I watched it with my emotion taken out of it, that was a really winnable game for us. And really, we had all the momentum, going into like towards the end of that second quarter. There was under 2 minutes left in the second quarter. It was 2nd and 2. We were inside the 20. All we had to do was run the ball. All we had to do was run the ball, and we probably have a different outcome. We run the ball on 2nd and 2. Then Dak Prescott doesn't throw an interception. We keep our momentum. We get points. Man, there was a lot of things that went wrong, but it really changed right there. But that's what made me sad that Malik Davis didn't at least get opportunity. That changed the outcome of our season. Let's pull up Malik Davis real quick though, man. Well, they say he had maturity issues. Is he a mature runner with the ball? Is what his run game like? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to know these guys. So did you see Malik pass block? No, Miss Regina Green, I have not. I ain't seen his pass blocking yet, Miss Green. He probably cannot do it at a high level. But right now we're just talking about the run scheme. Right? Because we all know there are more responsibilities to a running back outside of just running with the ball. We know that pass pro is going to be important, especially since the offensive line has been a bottom tier pass blocking line the last 3 seasons. So there's going to be a lot of responsibility on the running backs to save Dak Prescott time to time. So we know that there's other things outside of just running, but we're talking about the zone run scheme at this point, and try to see if these guys actually fit into it. Kenny, I'm just sitting here thinking like you. Malik Davis, he ducked out the way. Oh, she said he ducked out the way. Davis wanted to play. I have no problem with that. Maturing issues, my ass. Get him some snaps. Well, we did learn from the Brian Brothers interview, that he did with Boss Cowboy and them. Shout out to all those boys, always making fire ass premium Dallas Cowboy content. We did learn that Malik Davis was in the doghouse. He wanted more opportunities. That rubbed some people in the building the wrong way, right? So, but he's a good running back. I want him to get more snaps, and he might by necessity have to get a lot more snaps. Yo, DeQuincy, what's up with you, man? Hey, I hate you late coming into the show, man. We did a full breakdown on what Brian Schottenheimer did in Seattle. We talked about the new zone scheme, and the principles, within that, the plays you run in the zone scheme, how they set up and things like that. And now we're looking at our individual players and how they actually fit into that scheme. So make sure you go back and watch the previous hour and 20 you missed, my guy. Like, it's real good, man. If I do say so myself, I ain't trying to toot my own horn, but yeah, I think we did the damn fool with this one. All right, so let's take a look at Malik Davis, and we're gonna try and see if he actually fits into this system. So first, we'll start with what he's done so far in the NFL. Yeah, hey, Dwayne, we've been in here going off, man. Like, and don't worry, we got a lot of time left. This is going to be a very long show. I'm not gonna lie to you. We probably got it. I ain't gonna set a time on it, but we got some time left in the liquor store. So go ahead, pull your seat up, man. We still cooking. We got fresh inventory in, so don't even trip. All right, so now we're gonna look at Malik Davis, what he did last year, and then we're gonna read his scouting report. Right, he's not that far removed from college. Then we're gonna read this scouting report, see what it says about him, and see that sound right. See if it sounds like a guy that fits into a zone run scheme. So last year, they did my boy dirty. Like, he only got 38 rushing attempts, man. But on those 38 rushing attempts, but he turned that into 161 rushing yards. He had a long of 23, right? He had a rushing touchdown, and he still averaged 4.2 yards a carry. Right. So shout out to Malik Davis, man. He did not get a lot of opportunities last year, but he did go out there, you know. Oh nah, hey, we ain't gonna go out for you. Hey, Mr. Brown, you were, a valued member of the community, a valued member of the liquor store. You got VIP status, so don't trip. We ain't gonna ever cuss you out, fuss at you, or nothing. You come and go when you want to, man. You got a key to the liquor store. Said that okay, 100 me rest of the game and goes today, empty backfield. Man, that was a horrible decision that had a big snowball effect on the game. Cause bro, Dak Prescott just ran for like 15 yards, right? Dak Prescott had just ran for like 15 yards to get you a first down. Then, Tony Pollard had a little 8-yard pass, got you the second and 2. Like, you had all the momentum in the world. You were in the red zone. Time was running out for that quarter. Man, all you had to do, and then you had a chance to double up. You were going to get the ball to start the second half. You were going to get the ball to start the second half. We deferred. Like, you were playing for a 2-for-1, bro. And never mind. I'm finna get mad again. So when you watch Malik Davis run, it's like he's gliding quick feet. You can see defenders from the side view and make a move. The tail's there. Okay. Well, let's go ahead. Right. So we see his actual offensive production and output. Right. 161 yards, average 4.2 yards a carry. Let's go take a look at this board scouting report. What did they say about him coming into the league? What was the talk about Malik Davis coming into the league? Let's see if we can get it pulled up. So this is a scouting report from Cowboys Wire. Shout out to them. Oh, by the way, I am setting up to do a show with Professor O since y'all requested it. So we will have Professor O live in the liquor store next week. I actually was supposed to already inbox my board back. He contributes to the Cowboy Wire, so y'all make sure that y'all check out their content. Remember, I forgot to even do this. Monday works fine. All right, so we're gonna have Professor O in the liquor store Monday. So we're gonna collab. We're gonna do a show Monday. So shout out to Professor O for wanting to come over and link up. I want the land and wheat film study one day, Henny. We'll definitely do that, man. We will definitely do that. Especially Isaiah Land. That dude's special, man. All right, so let me go ahead, share the screen. Hey, thank you, Miss Green. Marino Cropper. Yeah, I listen. Like Marino Cropper is one of my pet cats. I know we're super deep. Hey, shout out to Dwayne Brown, man. He said, "Here's my late fee." Hey, we appreciate you, man. Hey, everything helps. Everything helps, so we ain't tripping. So let me go ahead and update you too. So Dwayne Brown, you now have 6 entries into the Dallas Cowboy ticket raffle. So salute to you. You and Mickey are both tied for the third best odds of winning the grand prize, which is the Dallas Cowboy home game ticket with a seat attached to it. So salute to you. So here is Malik Davis scouting report from the Cowboy Wire. Right, and since my board right for him, we're gonna take his word for it.
Me too.
Okay. All right, so his measurables coming out of college: 5'10", 210 pounds. So he's pretty solid. 2021, he only had 92 rushing attempts, but he did turn that into 487 yards and 5 touchdowns. He had 23 receptions to 217 yards and 2 touchdowns. So for his career, he only had 1,470 yards, and he only had 726 yards through the air. He did not have the best RAS, but as y'all know, I do not care about RAS. He only ran, according to them, a 4.66. But what do they say about his intangibles? I can't actually play this video. All right, so here we go. Physical skill evaluations. And the very first thing that they say about the boy actually lines out with something that you're looking for in regards to a guy, for the zone run. It says sharp and decisive in his cuts. That's the main thing. You have to be able to see the cutback lane. Won't be able to create something out of nothing, but if 2 options present themselves, he is good enough to choose the one that maximizes potential gain. And there you go. That alone says his vision is good enough to operate within this zone running scheme. Right? If he can see the cutback lanes, if he can make the right choice out of 2 presented options, if he can decide to take it on the outside or cut it back, right? That's pretty much solidified that he can, and right off the bat they answered it, right? So that's the key thing, the vision. Now he's not the super explosive guy. He did not have a good RAS. Listen, I ain't gonna even say that. I don't put shit into a RAS score. Like that means nothing to me. I'm an advanced analytic guy, and I do not care about a RAS score. I do not care about no RAS. All right. So what does it say about contact balance? He's capable of running through arm tackles, but don't expect him to lower his shoulder and maintain his balance. Okay. So he is reliable receiving threat out the backfield. Used on checkdowns. Saw him sent out on some wheel routes and had success. He has good hands for a running back. Tracks the ball well vertically. Okay. Doesn't appear. All right. Only used in limited reps here in terms of pass blocking. He did okay. They said show he has the ability to go low on a chop. So he a chop block specialist. He's a smaller guy, so I expect it to happen. He does sound like a zone runner. And really, I think this was a decision based on their current offensive personnel. Because we know that Tony Pollard is a zone runner. Like he gonna excel in a zone running scheme. We know that. We know that Malik Davis from his scouting report, right? Because we haven't really seen him run a lot in the NFL, but from his scouting report, he sounds like a guy that's a good zone runner. So that that might have just been a coaching decision from the personnel that's already here. All right, we already know he wasn't the fastest guy in the world. They said he might have ran a 4.71. So he's not the most elusive in the open field, but he's capable of making one-man miss if he has a cushion. But don't expect him to pull off any stop-and-go moves or juke moves when the defender is up on him. So he's never fumbled before, right? So that's good. All right, so overall, they say his strengths. He has very good hands and flashed his ball tracking ability when he was sent on wheel routes out the backfield. Spent occasional time split out at receiver. He was seldom targeted when he was split out on cut style. One cut style of runner. They have a typo. Prefers to get north to south rather than dance around and make people miss. Okay. So as long as he can get the, hey, that's a very good point. Terrell Davis ran a 4.7. Landlord for Wakanda. I told y'all this was gonna be a long film session. And then my boy Iceberg said that Florida was running his own running scheme. So hey, he built for it then. He's built for it. All right. So without film, just basing it on what they said about him, knowing Iceberg Slim, adding that layer of context. So salute to him. He came from his own running system in Florida. You know, his scouting report sounds like a guy. You know, he has the vision to play in his own run scheme. So we're gonna say that Malik Davis can play in his own running scheme. So let's take a look at Deuce Vaughn next, then, right? Because that's going to be the next question. Because remember, I'm not considering. I'll be honest with you. I'm not considering Rojo a guy that's going to make the team. I'm not going to look at Ronald Jones. He's not making the team. I don't believe that. God forgive me if I sound cruel. That's not my intention. I just don't think that Ronald Jones is going to make the final roster. I just don't believe that. I could be mistaken, but I don't think he will. So let's go and look at Deuce Vaughn. And remember, Deuce Vaughn is diminutive in stature, but he was a very productive running back, very explosive running back. He has good game speed. He has good acceleration, but does not have the all-world home run speed that somebody like Tony Pollard does. But he is a very versatile guy. He can make plays in the passing game, in the running game. So let's read his scouting report. Yeah, Deuce Vaughn gonna be a fan favorite, like right out the gate. Yep, smoke one for you. Said Rojo, not a zone runner, he a downfield runner. Yep, I agree. I definitely agree with that. And the man has not been productive the last couple of years, so I'm not getting my hopes up that he's gonna have a resurgent, some super resurgent season with Dallas. I just don't see that happening. All right, so let's take a look at what they said about him at Draft Buzz. Y'all know I rock with Draft Buzz. I use this all the time. Love Draft Buzz. So let's take a look. Bro said LeBron James nuts stank. Why would you know this? Why would you know this? And why would you feel the need to tell us? It's all good, though. There's nothing that I can do with that information, kinfolk. All right, so we got Deuce Vaughn in the building. They claim he ran a 4.56. That's good enough for me. Well, that's good enough for me. They say he ran a 4.56. I can live with that. 5'5", 179 pounds, 1,558 yards last year, 5.3 yards a carry, 9 rushing touchdowns, added 42 receptions for 378 yards. He balled. He definitely balled. They actually had a 5th round grade on the kid. So these are his strengths. These are the strengths that they say that one Deuce Vaughn has. Hey, go ahead and clip the weird dude. And folks, go ahead and whack SK6103. I don't know, dude. I don't need no weird people in here, man. Go ahead, whack cuz. Yeah, y'all. Hey, all y'all with wrenches, go ahead and tighten cuz up, man. Go ahead and get him out of here. Yeah, I need somebody from the Rich Gang to get SK6103 out the chat box. Please and thank you. All right, so let's read his scouting report real quick. All right, they say he flashes an initial burst and good lateral quickness to sidestep defenders or bounce. Runs outside with very good foot quickness. Displays very good feels as an inside and outside runner with above average vision to make sharp cuts. Good patience and footwork to pick through defenses. Okay. He's decisive once Vaughn locates a hole and gets through quickly. His ability to accelerate, his good top end speed allow him to outrun angles, and he has the quickness and lateral agility to make defenders miss in space. All right, so far so good. First two things that they mentioned sound like a player who can excel within a zone running kind of system. All right. Oh, you good, Desmond? Don't wreck trying to whack somebody, man. But I appreciate you for getting Cuz up out of here. He was tripping. I don't know what the hell kind of time he was on, but we ain't doing that, man. We ain't here doing a deep dive, man. We ain't here getting the content off. He out here tripping. All right. His competitiveness and knack for high pointing the ball allow him to play bigger than his size. He's an elite receiver. He runs routes as well as most receivers, has a natural hand, snatching the ball away from his body. Has very good vision and patience picking through defenses. So there you know. He has the vision. He's explosive enough. So it sounds like Deuce Vaughn is also a player. Yeah, he definitely sounds like a player who can come into a zone blocking scheme and cause some noise. Because it's not like he doesn't have the quickness or the vision, and those are the only two requirements, right? Those are the only two requirements. You're going to be asked to pick the right way for the play to go based on the scheme, and you're just gonna have to pick correctly. So as long as his vision is there, he'll have opportunities to make big plays. I'm not too much concerned about these guys' individual 40 times, but he's fast enough. A 4.5 is still plenty quick. We see that with CeeDee Lamb. Even though CeeDee Lamb is not the fastest guy in the NFL, he's one of the most explosive. He's always open. He's very violent in how he moves and gets through. Hey, Dwayne Moore, salute to you, man. Thank you for stopping into the liquor store and showing some love, man. If you were wondering what we're talking about, for all of y'all who are just now joining us inside the liquor store, we talked first about Brian Schottenheimer's track record in Seattle with the run game. We looked at where they ranked, their rushing attempts, their efficiency while running the ball, right? We also looked at how often they ran the ball on first down. We then segued and looked at the zone running scheme. We read an article, broke down exactly what a zone run scheme is. We looked at all the plays that were run in the zone run scheme and broke those down. And now we're taking a look at our own offensive personnel and seeing which running backs actually fit the zone run scheme style. And so far, we're 2 for 2. Tony Pollard, with his background as a return specialist, right? His vision, his explosiveness, he fits the zone running scheme. And for y'all who do not know, in a zone run scheme, the offensive line is going to flow into an area. They're going to go into a zone, and they're going to block whoever comes into their area. Right? It's not necessarily blocking somebody that's right in front of you. They have a designated area to go to in the field. Whoever shows up in that area who getting that action. So, with the way this is played, it allows the running back to either A, follow the play, right? It allows them to either A, follow the play, or it allows them to cut the ball back. So, it gives the running back options, with the run. So they could take the ball multiple different places, in accordance to how the defenses flows, all right, and how they try to track down the play. So in order to be a running back that's effective doing this, you have to have some sort of speed. You have to have good vision, right? You have to have some elusiveness. So far, Malik Davis and Tony Pollard both fit the billing. Man, I don't know. He was weird. Said like, dog, like we don't play like that over here. I don't want to hear about LeBron. I don't want to hear about your funky ads that you need to watch. I don't like, man, like we out here trying to get some good football content off, and cuz want to play. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, we ain't doing that. He might have ate too, and he might be an Eagles fan. He might have ate too much shit. Had an infection in his brain or something. You never know. He could have got blood poisoning from all the shit he ate. Who knows? Who could possibly know? Also, I am tripping. I've been on this show this whole time, did not turn my monetization on, but it's all good. Let me do that real quick while I'm thinking about it. Yeah, while I'm thinking about it, let's do that. And then we're gonna go through the rest of the guys. There we go. All right, we're good. Now I got to turn it off. Yeah, I was tweaking. I don't know why I did that. He said, I missed that. Was in the restroom. Yeah, they out here playing. He said, Pollard has speed with some quickness, while Vaughn is elusive with some speed. Yeah, I definitely agree. So really, we're 3 for 3, right? I said 2 for 2. We're 3 for 3 right now. Deuce Vaughn fits his own running system. Tony Pollard fits his own running system. Malik Davis fits his own running system. We know for a fact that Ronald Jones does not fit the run. He does not fit that. He is not a zone run fit. He does not have the elusiveness or the vision, just from what I believe, to actually be a guy that can go out there and run this system at a high level. So again, like, what is going to happen with this man? Is he going to be able to go out there and play for us, or what? Because I don't think he even like a power runner like that. Well, Henny, I done had 2 shots, 2 beers done, sir. And the liquor store still open. Hiccup. Hey, yeah, man. Liquor store still open. We rocking tonight, man. We rocking. So, we got a little bit of time left, right? Because I'm actually going to go out on a limb and say this. I'm actually going to go out on a limb and say this. We might have switched our zone running scheme with our personnel in mind. Because you're paying a running back $10 million. You want him to be set up to succeed, in the best way possible. Right? You want him to be set up to succeed in the best way possible. Hey, Brian, we always got sales, man. And for all y'all who forget, we got whatever you need to succeed. So come on into the liquor store, right? We got the gin, we got the hen, we got Cowboy readers, we got whatever you need, man. So we rocking straight like that. Straight like that. If you have a power block in the zone blocking scheme can work, plan a cut, it becomes elephant ball then. Yeah, but see, Ronald Jones ain't no real power back either. I just don't think Ronald Jones is that good. Now I don't mind having a power back. No, like I stated, like I still want a power back on the team. It just wouldn't be nobody like it just wouldn't be nobody like Ronald Jones. Bingo, there you go, Henry. Congrats, man. You can tell the rest that is what happened. Facts. I definitely think that there is a reason. There is a rhyme and reason for everything. Right? They prefer zone running. Yeah, we don't have one. We the power back the Dallas Cowboys need is not currently on the team. Right? The power back we need is currently not on the team. No, that's why I said under certain circumstances, I would not mind having Ezekiel Elliott back. Because to be fair to him, he ain't ran in his zone scheme either. So Zeke, having an option of being able to cut back or carry the ball here or there, he might actually perform a little bit better. We really don't know just yet, but I do see that. As a plus, bringing Zeke back and letting him operate and be your power back. Like, well, what else you got to lose? Because I know for a fact, we talk about Ronald Jones contributing. I know that Ezekiel Elliott is better than Ronald Jones, right? So, with a fullback too, right? Really, yeah. Because really, Hunter Lupke or Lipke, how you say his name? I don't know how the hell they say his name, but he is the closest thing to a power back that you have on this current roster. And I don't think he'll get like a ton of touches to start off. Like that's something they might just ease him into. They might ease that boy on into that. So I don't know. What do you guys think? What do y'all think about the zone run scheme for what we learned tonight? What do you think about Brian Schottenheimer's track record in producing, top level rushing offenses? And what do you think about our offensive personnel and how they currently fit the zone run? That's more levels to it besides that, right? How well will our offensive line adjust to zone blocking? Because in the run game they got to go to an area of the field. They got to have a little bit more movement. How do you think they will fare? Do you think because we're moving to a zone scheme that somebody like TJ Bass, can come in and get some snaps? If Tyler Smith was to go down and Tyler Smith was to move back to left tackle, like it brings in a lot of different questions about the overall personnel, how they'll be used, the depth chart. Right, all those different questions. Dwayne Brown said it worked in Seattle. Yeah, it worked in Seattle. It definitely worked in Seattle. They made the playoffs all 3 of those years, and we're trying to make the playoffs for the third time. In the last 3 years, we're trying to make it for the. We haven't been to playoff 3 consecutive seasons since the 90s, right? So even though it's a foregone conclusion in my mind, we'll be a good team, right? This is. Like all this stuff have to fall in place for us, right? It's not a gimme. It's not something that we just been doing. It's not something that we always have an opportunity to do. So I am very, very, very anxious. Like I'm not concerned, but I'm anxious to see how all this stuff pans out, man. Like I'm really ready to see how this zone run scheme affects our decisions, personnel wise, offensively. Like I'm ready. So I just talked to y'all an hour and 54. I'm going to let y'all what price y'all veteran minimum. Because theoretically, you're still paying Ezekiel Elliott right now. Like Zeke still is going to get like $5 million of dead money from the Dallas Cowboys. So he got bread. He got a little bit of bread. So he should be willing to play for the 2. He probably could play for like $1 or $2 million. Knowing that he'll still get some more money from the Dallas Cowboys that they owe him. It definitely fits Dak in the play action. And, because we're doing all these on running concepts, it can be married well with the RPO concepts too. You can marry a lot of these zone runs into RPO concepts, because a lot of the inside zones, like they mentioned in the article earlier, have some of the same principles as the RPOs. It's just the quarterback has the option of keeping the ball and running, if the ends crash in too quick. So I definitely think in a zone, for the zone run scheme, you can marry it with some RPO looks. Dak Prescott, as we already know, excels with play action, excels on RPO passes. So I definitely do think those concepts will make a resurgence in this new offensive scheme, just based off that alone. And Zeke does have vision. Like, they can say a lot of things about Ezekiel Elliott, but you can't say that he can't see the hole. You can't say that he can't see the hole. And besides, I wouldn't mind, getting a number 15 Zeke jersey for the Dallas Cowboys. That'd be cold as hell. Matter of fact, if Zeke come back and get number 15, I'm buying it. Might even raffle one off. So, hey, matter of fact, if Zeke comes back and he gets number 15, I'm going to raffle one off on the show. Y'all know how I do. So, yeah, go ahead, man. This is the Q&A section of the liquor store, man. Y'all been rocking with me this whole time, showing love and rocking with your boy. So, y'all, please go ahead and put your questions in the chat box. I'm going to get to your questions, then we're going to get out of here, man. Is Zeke coming back? Not sure yet. I wouldn't mind bringing Ezekiel Elliott back, but right now that is still up in the air. Fullback in the zone run game, yes, you can have a fullback in the zone run game. There's nothing against it. And matter of fact, a fullback in the zone run game would serve a similar. You said, I think Rico will make the team. What about you? Rico Dow? I think Rico will make it before Ronald does. I think Rico Dow will make the team before Ronald Jones does. I'm not saying it's clear cut, but like Rico has a better opportunity than Ronald Jones does, in my opinion. But a fullback in the zone run scheme can operate similar to one of those backside guys that cut off the edge defender, so that they can go and cut. And really, you have a fullback in the zone run game. They can go to either side, block wherever way you want to send them. As a matter of fact, we already seen it. Like, we saw it earlier, right? We saw it in the article we broke down. They showed that it was possible to have a fullback out there. Yeah. So outside zone 2 back, right? Outside zone 2 back, was a zone run where they had a fullback out there. So yeah, you definitely can have a fullback in the zone run scheme. If you could add to one position, what would it be? It had to be running back right now. We're talking about adding Ezekiel Elliott and stuff, so we'll have to be running back, right? Is Bell McQuamma going to push for more playing time? I can definitely see it. And listen, Izzy was getting more playing time in the playoffs. It happened towards the end of the season, but Izzy was getting burned in the playoffs. Like, they had put him up on against Chris Godwin, and he shut the boy down. So Izzy already saw an increase in play. Tim, I do agree with you. We don't need DeAndre Hopkins. We already got Brandon Cooks. We're getting back a healthy Michael Gallup, and they raving about Jalen Tolbert right now, who's a friend of the show, by the way. So yeah, I definitely don't think we need DeAndre Hopkins at all. You are right, landlord. That is a hot take. There's a take that is hot garbage. I love you though. You my boy. But that's why it's a hot take. All right. Any more questions? Any more questions? I'm on. Hey, talk to me. Any more questions? What's going on? Is Bill McQuamu going to push for more? I like Malik Hooker. Landlord is not as high on Malik Hooker as I am. He thinks that Malik Hooker is an upgradable position. I think Malik Hooker is a guy, who was a former first round pick, who had 3 interceptions for you last year, had 2 defensive touchdowns for you last year. I definitely do like Malik Hooker. So, yeah, especially from, when you think about the other kinds of safeties we had in the past. You remember we had Xavier Woods and nobody was happy with him. I remember having J.J. Wilcox and Jeff Heath and all these other different, safety they used to just run out there. Right. So he's definitely one of the best safeties we had, or at least one of the best free safeties we had in years. So, I'm not in a hurry to get rid of Malik Hooker. I like him. So what about the new receiver we signed? We signed a wide receiver by the name of Tyron Johnson. He's a former 4th round pick. His last truly productive season was in 2020 with the Los Angeles Chargers, where he averaged almost 20 yards a catch and had 3 touchdowns. But he's had very limited NFL play since then. He does have some potential. He is a 4-3 guy, a vertical threat, a guy that does fit within the West Coast system. But, it's going to be hard pressed for him to make the team. It's going to be real hard for him to make the team with everybody else to be have in front of him. So, good depth, rooting for the kid, you know what I'm saying? But I don't really know where he will fit into this grand scheme of things when you look at what we got already. Yeah, any more questions for your boy, man? Talk to me. Yes, they are. They complement each other like lightning and thunder. And I know I'm not the person that originated that name, but he said you look sleepy. Oh no, I'm good, kinfolk. It said it's Zeke. Yeah, but yeah, they complement each other perfectly though. You got Tony Pollard, who is the Flash, the I said, good question, Neil. But yeah, so you got Tony Pollard, who is the explosive runner, the splash play guy, the guy that you can run out there as a receiving threat. And then you got Ezekiel Elliott, the pass blocker, the short yardage guy. He's a hell of a red zone threat to get into the end zone, has a nose for the end zone. So they really complemented each other a lot, honestly. So, I wouldn't mind, having that yin and yang back on this team and giving Ezekiel Elliott the opportunity to run in this new zone scheme. Because even though Ezekiel Elliott is, he's not as fast as he was when he first came into the league because we ran him into the ground. But, so did you speak on the offensive speed tonight? I did not. It was mainly focused on the run game, the track record of Schottenheimer, the new run style we're going to incorporate, and the players. But I have not actually touched on the speed yet. There's going to be an entirely separate video. Like, I don't know if it's going to be a live video, but I am going to do my research, compile the data. I'm going to release the video about the speed on this team. But this might be the fastest Dallas Cowboys team we've seen in years. They got explosive players all around. I'm surprised that Zeke isn't on. Yeah, Zeke would have got 1,000 yards last year if he had to miss 2 games. So, I'm not feeling the same way that a lot of people feel about Zeke. I'm not going to sit here and say he's washed. I'm not going to sit here and say that he wouldn't be a good addition to this team. Like some people say it's time to move on, but like hell, they moved on from Zeke and they did not draft a running back high. They didn't do anything to really, as to really go out there and fill that void that was left behind by his absence. So I'm more than happy to bring him back until they figure it out. But yeah, man, I've been on here for 2 hours. So that's how y'all know I really rock with y'all. But I ain't finna go stretch out in this bed, look at my wife, talk crazy, put a movie on till it start watching us. So God bless y'all. I appreciate y'all for your love and support. On the way out, please continue to hit that like button. Please continue to hit that share button. And please continue to hit the super chats and continue to hit them cash apps. We are raffling off the Dallas Cowboy tickets. First place, home game with a seat. Second place, home game, general admission. Third place, either a PlayStation 4 or a jersey of your choice. So please continue to support the raffle. The more that y'all donate, the more that we can do on the show. The more raffles we will actually do as well, and more shows I do. I ain't gonna lie to you. But God bless you. I appreciate you, and I will see y'all later. Peace, and I will get at y'all soon, man. God bless.